Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today, we are going to explore the remarkable history of the Philippine piso coin from 1985. At first glance, it may seem like just another old coin, but once you discover its background, symbolism, and significance, you will see why. It is one of the most interesting pieces in Philippine numismatic history. The piso coin of 1985 was born during a time of transition and turbulence in the Philippines. This was near the end of the Ferdinand Marcos era, a time filled with political challenges, economic struggles, and the stirrings of change that would soon lead to the 1986 People Power Revolution. Against this backdrop, the coin carries more meaning than its denomination alone. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the portrait of Andres Bonifacio, the father of the Philippine Revolution. Bonifacio symbolizes bravery, sacrifice, and the relentless fight for freedom. His placement on the piso coin was not just an artistic decision but a powerful political and cultural statement. The reverse side of the coin displays the iconic seal of the Central Bank of the Philippines. This emblem reflected stability, monetary authority, and the effort to keep the Philippine currency strong in uncertain times. Even as inflation and economic pressures mounted, this seal stood as a reminder of national identity and control. The coin was minted in nickel brass, a durable and attractive alloy that gave it a distinctive golden shine when newly struck. Over time, coins may tarnish, but the original brilliance of the 19852 piso remains a sight to behold when preserved properly. Collectors often describe the 19852 piso as a historical bridge between the old Marcos era coinage and the revolutionary changes that followed soon after. Because it was one of the last coins minted before the People Power movement, it holds symbolic value beyond its metal. Production of the piso coins during this period was not extremely high, compared to smaller denominations, which already makes it scarcer in circulation today. The fact that many were heavily used in everyday transactions further reduced the number of coins that remain in good condition. 1985, the piso coin had also established itself as a practical denomination in daily life. It was used for jeepney fares, small grocery items, snacks, and school supplies. Many Filipinos who lived through the 1980s remember handing over a shiny piso coin to buy candy or rice, making it a nostalgic piece of their childhood. Numismatists consider the 19852 piso to be part of the Flora and Heroes series, which showcased national heroes and symbols of Philippine strength. The series not only provided monetary function, but also educated Filipinos about their national heritage every time they looked at a coin. The coin's diameter was 28 millimeters larger than many other coins of the time, making it a noticeable piece in the hand and pocket. Its size and weight gave it a sense of importance, almost like a reminder of the great historical figure it bore. Bonifacio's image on the coin is striking, with his determined expression reflecting the spirit of the Katipunan, the secret society that played a pivotal role in the revolution against Spanish colonial rule. This choice of portrait kept alive the story of Filipino independence in the minds of ordinary citizens. When we examine the year 1985 in the broader timeline, we see a nation on the brink of change. Just 1 year later, the Philippines would witness the fall of Marcos and the rise of Corazon Aquino. That makes the 19852 piso coin a relic of the last moments of an era. Over time, as the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas introduced new coinage in the 1990s, the piso coin of 1985 gradually disappeared from circulation. People stopped noticing it in their wallets, but collectors began seeking it out for its historical relevance. Today, finding a well-preserved 1985 piso is not an easy task. Many of the coins have faded, scratched surfaces from years of use. However, uncirculated or mint-state examples can be highly prized by collectors. The value of this coin is not just measured in pesos or dollars, but also in cultural and historical terms. To hold a piso from 1985 is to hold a piece of Philippine history that speaks of courage, change, and national pride. Some collectors also point out that the 19852 piso coin marked one of the rare times Bonifacio appeared on Philippine money in such a dominant way. While Jose Rizal is the more frequent face of currency, Bonifacio's presence on the piso gave him rightful recognition as a hero of equal stature. The coin also teaches us about the artistry of minting during that period. The portrait detail, the inscriptions, and the clear representation of the central bank seal reflect the skill and craftsmanship of the Philippine Mint. It is also worth noting that many Filipinos during the 1980s preferred coins over small denomination bills because coins were more durable. The 2 peso coin was especially favored for its longevity and reliability in daily commerce. In numismatic circles, the 1985 2 peso is often discussed in relation to its successors. Later 2 peso coins had different designs, including commemorative issues, but the 1985 version stands out because of its link to one of the most decisive chapters in Philippine political life. For younger generations who were not alive during the 1980s, the coin offers a chance to connect with their parents' or grandparents' stories. It is a tangible reminder of jeepney rides, street markets, and the struggles of ordinary Filipinos. This makes the 1985 2 peso more than just a collectible. It is a storytelling device, a coin that sparks conversations about history, heritage, and the resilience of the Filipino people. Today, we take a deep dive into the Philippine 25 centimo coin from 1971, a small yet powerful artifact that tells the story of a nation in transition. Many people may see it as just a simple piece of change, but this coin carries layers of history, artistry, and national identity that make it a fascinating part of Philippine numismatics. The 25 centimo 1971 coin belongs to the Filipino series, which was introduced in 1967. This was the first full series of coins to bear Filipino inscriptions rather than English, marking a strong declaration of cultural independence and identity. By the time the 25 centimo of 1971 entered circulation, it had already become a symbol of pride for the country. On its obverse side, the coin proudly displays the portrait of Juan Luna, one of the greatest Filipino painters, intellectuals, and revolutionaries. His face on the coin is not just a reminder of his artistic achievements but also his dedication to the cause of nationalism. Luna's spoliarium, which won a gold medal in Madrid, became a metaphor for the Filipino struggle under colonial rule. The reverse side of the 25 centimo 1971 bears the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines. It includes the sun, stars, eagle, and lion, representing both local identity and historical influences from Spain and the United States. This design balanced heritage with sovereignty, reminding citizens of the Philippines' resilience as a free republic. Struck in nickel brass, the coin's composition was meant to give durability, allowing it to withstand decades of circulation. Its golden tone stood out among smaller denominations, giving it a distinct visual presence in the hands of everyday Filipinos. When the 25 centimo 1971 was released, it carried a reasonable purchasing power. During that period, it could buy small snacks, candies, or part of public transportation fares, though it seems minor today. At the time, it was a vital coin in daily transactions. The early 1970s in the Philippines were marked by political and economic shifts. President Ferdinand Marcos had already declared his vision for a new society, and by 1972, martial law would reshape the country. The 1971 25 centimo, therefore, represents the calm before a storm. A coin minted at the edge of a critical turning point in history. For older Filipinos, it brings nostalgia of a time when a few centimo coins could still purchase meaningful goods. For younger generations, it offers a glimpse into the economic realities of the past. In classrooms today, this coin is often used as a historical teaching tool, reminding students of how money reflects national stories. Its presence bridges generations and fosters an appreciation of heritage. The coin's artistry also deserves admiration. Luna's portrait is not merely functional, it is expressive, dignified, and timeless. This makes the 25 centimo 1971 as much a miniature coin's world. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the Philippine 25 centimo coin from the year 1994. This small but mighty coin has a history that stretches far beyond its face value, and by the time we reach the end of this journey, you will be amazed at how much significance and charm is hidden within this piece of Philippine numismatic heritage. The 25 centimo coin of 1994 belongs to the Flora and Fauna series, which was introduced by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas in 1983. This series was designed not just for daily transactions but also to reflect the natural beauty and biodiversity of the Philippines, along with honoring its national heroes. The combination of these themes made the coins both functional and symbolic, giving Filipinos a sense of pride whenever they held them. On the obverse of the 1994 25-centimo coin, we see the portrait of Juan Luna, one of the most celebrated Filipino painters, political activists, and revolutionaries of the 19th century. Luna's artwork and contributions to the independence movement gave him a permanent place in the history of the Philippines. His image on the coin serves as a reminder of the power of creativity and patriotism. The reverse side of the coin features a Philippine orchid, specifically the wailing Arvanda sanderiana, one of the most treasured and beautiful native flowers of the country. This choice of design connects the coin to the nation's rich biodiversity, symbolizing both natural beauty and the resilience of the Philippine environment. Minted in brass, the coin carries a golden hue that made it visually appealing and distinct among the other denominations. Its size and color allowed it to stand out, making it easier for Filipinos to identify it in daily commerce, especially in markets and public transportation where small change was often needed. 1994. The Philippines was transitioning through significant economic reforms, and coins like the 25-centimo played a vital role in everyday exchanges. For ordinary citizens, these coins were essential in buying bus fares, candies, and small household items. Though its value was small, its circulation was widespread, touching the daily lives of millions. The coin also tells a story of artistry. The portrait of Juan Luna was carefully engraved to capture not just his face but his character. Likewise, the orchid on the reverse was crafted with fine detail, showcasing petals and natural beauty in a way that elevated the coin beyond its monetary worth. Over the years, the 25-centimo coins of this series became common in Filipino households. Children often collected them in piggy banks, and many grew up with fond memories of saving these coins to buy small treats. For older generations, the coin became a nostalgic symbol of the 1990s. Digital collections, the 25-centimo 1994, serves as a milestone in the world. Today we are diving into the fascinating history of one of the smallest, yet historically rich coins in Philippine currency, the 10-centimo coin from 1970. Don't underestimate its size, because behind this little coin lies a story of heritage, culture, politics, and national identity. The 1970s marked a significant decade for the Philippines. Under President Ferdinand Marcos, the country was undergoing massive political and economic changes. Coins minted during this era reflect not just monetary value but also the national narrative that was being carefully shaped. The 10-centimo 1970 is a perfect example of this. The coin itself belongs to the Filipino series, which was introduced in 1967. This series replaced the English series that had been circulating since the 1950s. The switch from English inscriptions to the Filipino language symbolized a growing sense of national pride and independence. On the obverse of the 1970 10-centimo, we see the figure of Apolinario Mabini, one of the most revered heroes of the Philippines, known as the brains of the revolution. Mabini's inclusion on the coin highlighted his role in shaping the country's fight for independence. His image was chosen to inspire patriotism and remind Filipinos of their revolutionary roots. The reverse of the coin featured the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines. This seal embodied sovereignty, unity, and governance, important themes in the years leading up to the declaration of martial law in 1972. The coin, therefore, was not just money, but also a subtle message of national identity. The material of the 10-centimo 1970 coin was brass, giving it a golden color that set it apart from other small denominations. It was small, lightweight, and practical for daily use, especially during a time when public transportation, street vendors, and small-scale trade flourished. Its diameter was around 17 millimeters, making it one of the smallest coins in circulation at the time. Many Filipinos remember carrying several of these coins in their pockets to buy candies, newspapers, or even a ride in a jeepney. But beyond its everyday utility, the coin had symbolic significance. By honoring Mabini, the government reinforced the idea that heroes of the past should guide the decisions of the present and the future. Collectors today value the 10-centimo 1970, not just for its monetary worth but for the historical context it represents. It tells the story of a nation, asserting its cultural identity through language and design. The 1970s also saw economic challenges, with inflation and rising costs. Coins like the 10-centimo gradually lost much of their purchasing power, yet they remained an essential part of the economy, because small change kept the circulation system alive. Over the years, These coins were used so frequently that many are now found in heavily Philippine 5 peso coin issued in 2015. At first glance, it may look like just another modern coin, but when we peel back its layers of history, design, and significance, you will see why this small piece of metal is such an important artifact of Philippine culture and heritage. The 20155 peso coin was part of the new generation currency coin series introduced by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, BSP. This series was a major step toward modernizing Philippine currency and ensuring that the nation's coins reflected its history, achievements, and national identity. On its obverse side, the coin proudly features the image of Andres Bonifacio, one of the most iconic figures in Philippine history. Known as the father of the Philippine Revolution, Bonifacio symbolizes courage, resistance, and the indomitable spirit of the Filipino people. His placement on the 5 peso coin was deliberate, a tribute to his role in fighting Spanish colonial rule. The reverse side of the coin displays the BSP seal along with design elements inspired by native Philippine culture. It represents not only the institution responsible for safeguarding the nation's currency, but also the unity of the Filipino people under one national identity. The introduction of this coin was significant because it marked the transition away from older designs that had long been in circulation. Many Filipinos were used to the earlier 5 peso coins featuring leaders like Emilio, but the shift to Andres Bonifacio on the 2015 version was a symbolic reminder of another revolutionary hero. Historically, the 5 peso denomination itself has an interesting story. It was first introduced in coin form in 1975, replacing the banknote of the same value. By the 2010s, coins had become more practical for this denomination due to inflation and the increasing cost of printing money. The 2015 edition stands out because it came just before the Philippines launched the new generation currency coin series redesign. In 2018, that means the 2015 5 peso coin was one of the last issues before a complete transformation of Philippine coinage for collectors. This makes it particularly special because it bridges the gap between two eras. Collectors also note its composition. The coin was made of nickel-plated steel, chosen for durability and resistance to corrosion. This was essential for daily use in a tropical climate, where humidity could damage metals more quickly. Find these coins in circulation, but they are becoming less common as newer issues dominate the market. That gradual disappearance only adds to the fascinating stories behind coins that many people overlook. Today, we are diving into the 1988 Philippine 10 centimo coin, a piece that might seem small in value but carries a rich history, deep symbolism, and connections to the country's evolving culture and economy. The 10 centimo coin is part of the Filipino currency system, where the peso is divided into 100 centavos or centimo. Even though the value of 10 centimo may not seem significant today, these coins have played a crucial role in everyday transactions, especially during a time when prices were much lower than they are now. The 1988 issue of the 10 centimo came at an interesting period in Philippine history. Just 2 years earlier, in 1986, the country had experienced the historic People Power Revolution, which brought down the regime of Ferdinand Marcos and restored democracy under President Corazon Aquino. The coin was minted during Aquino's presidency, a time when the country was reshaping its national identity. At the front of the 1988 10 centimo coin, you will find the portrait of Francisco Baltasar, also known as Francisco Balagtas, one of the greatest Filipino literary figures. He is celebrated as the Prince of Tagalog poets and the author of the epic Florandi at Laura, a masterpiece that reflects Filipino values, struggles, and aspirations. His presence on the coin connects literature and history with everyday life. The reverse side of the coin features the official seal of the Central Bank of the Philippines, known as Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This emphasizes the authority of the institution responsible for monetary stability, reminding Filipinos of the importance of trust and control in the nation's financial system. The coin was made of copper nickel, giving it durability and a silvery appearance. Measuring 17 millimeters in diameter, it was small, lightweight, and practical for daily use. It may have been used to pay for jeepney fares, candies in sari-sari stores, or small household items, making it a part of everyday Filipino life in the late 1980s. Looking deeper into history, the 10 centimo coin represents the evolution of Philippine currency after independence. Earlier coins carried heavy Spanish and American influences, But by the time of the 1988 coin, the Philippines was proudly featuring its own national heroes, writers, and leaders. This was a powerful shift in asserting national identity. The presence of balagtas on the coin also highlights the importance of language and culture at a time when globalization was influencing the country. Placing a Filipino writer on currency was a reminder of heritage, creativity, and resilience. The late 1980s were also a period of economic adjustment for the Philippines. After years of political turmoil, the Aquino government was working hard to stabilize the peso, control inflation, and encourage foreign investment. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating journey of the Philippine 10 centimo coin minted in 2014. At first glance, this small denomination might not seem like much, but when we look deeper, it carries layers of history, national identity, and the everyday life of millions of Filipinos. This coin may be tiny in value, yet its story is larger than life. And by the end of this episode, you'll realize why it deserves a place of honor in the world of coin collecting. The 201 for 10 centimo coin belongs to the new generation currency and coin series, which was introduced by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, BSP, in 2011. This series marked a complete redesign of Philippine coins after decades of using the BSP coin series that began in 1995. The NGC coins were introduced to enhance durability, modernize the design, and improve security features, making counterfeiting much harder. One of the most striking features of the 2014 10 centimo coin is its simple yet elegant design. Unlike earlier coins that featured national heroes, the NGC series introduced native flora as its primary design elements. For the 10 centimo, the chosen symbol was the Kapal Beijing Hoya pubicillix, a beautiful flowering vine native to the Philippines. This change represented a major shift in numismatic philosophy from political figures to nature, signifying pride in the country's biodiversity. The obverse side of the coin bears the name Republica ng Pilipinas along with the national seal reinforcing sovereignty and identity. The reverse features the denomination 10 centimo and the image of the Kapal Beijing, reminding Filipinos of the natural wealth that surrounds them every day. The coin is made of steel and plated with copper, giving it a lightweight but durable quality. Its small size reflects its modest value, but its role in circulation is significant, especially in completing everyday transactions. For vendors, commuters, and ordinary people, the 10 centimo was essential for giving exact change. By 2014, inflation had already reduced the purchasing power of the centimo, but the coin still had a symbolic role. For example, jeepney drivers and small market vendors used it to round off fares and prices. Even though individually these coins had little buying power, in bulk they mattered a lot for business transactions. Collectors often see the 2014 issue as part of a transitional story. It wasn't just a coin, it was part of the effort to introduce the public to a completely new look and feel of Philippine money. The BSP launched extensive educational campaigns to familiarize Filipinos with the NGC coins, teaching them to recognize their unique designs and security features. What makes the 2014 10 centimo coin special is that it reflects the Philippines' cultural values. By featuring native plants, the BSP honored nature as part of the national identity. It encouraged Filipinos to take pride in coins world. Today we are going to explore the fascinating journey of the Philippine 5 piso coin of 1997. At first glance, it may look like just another coin, but when you take a closer look at its history, its symbolism, and the time period it represents, you'll realize it carries a much deeper story. This coin is not just metal, it's a reflection of Philippine culture, economy, and national pride during the late 20th century. So, let's dive deep into its 30-part historical story that will make you see this coin in a whole new light. The Philippine 5 piso coin of 1997 was introduced at a time of economic adjustments and national development. It belongs to the BSP Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas coin series that was introduced in the mid-1990s to modernize Philippine currency. This coin was notable because it replaced the earlier smaller versions of the 5 piso note, which had been in circulation for decades. The shift from paper money to coins reflected the government's attempt to save production costs and create longer-lasting currency. The obverse side of the 1997 5 piso coin proudly features the face of Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines. His image symbolizes the fight for independence and the establishment of the First Philippine Republic in 1899. Emilio Aguinaldo's inclusion was not just artistic. It carried a message of patriotism, reminding Filipinos of their struggle against colonial rule and their journey toward nationhood. Surrounding Aguinaldo's portrait is the inscription Republica ng Pilipinas, which emphasizes the sovereignty of the nation. This was particularly meaningful in the 1990s as the Philippines was redefining itself. In the post-Marcos era, the reverse side of the coin carries the seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, symbolizing authority, stability, and trust in the national monetary system. The 1997 coin was among the first to highlight the newly formed BSP seal. After its re-establishment in 1993, this 5-peso coin was minted in nickel brass, giving it durability and a golden appearance. The alloy choice was meant to extend the life of the coin, compared to earlier materials used in smaller denominations. The coin measures 27 millimeters in diameter, making it one of the larger Philippine coins of its time. Its size and distinct color made it easily recognizable in everyday transactions. During the late 1990s, inflation and economic adjustments were pressing issues. The 5-peso coin carried real purchasing power. It could buy snacks, transportation fares, or simple household items, making it a coin that circulated heavily in daily life. What's fascinating is how the 1997 5-peso also became part of Filipino culture. Children used it for arcade games, students for jeepney rides, and families for savings in coin banks. The 1997 issue is significant because it marked the steady decline of the 5-peso banknote. Eventually, the note was fully. Today, we are going to dive into the fascinating and detailed history of the Philippine 25-centimo coin from 1979. Though small in denomination, this coin reflects a remarkable chapter in the Philippines' economic, political, and cultural story. With 30 paragraphs ahead, you'll see how this coin is more than just loose change. It is a piece of history that continues to spark curiosity and nostalgia. The 1979-5 centimo coin was part of the Angi Bagong Lipunan coin series introduced during the regime of President Ferdinand Marcos. These coins carried not only monetary value but also political symbolism, reinforcing the image of the so-called new society. The Angi Bagong Lipunan slogan printed on the coin was more than just words. It was part of a nationwide campaign to project discipline, order, and national pride under martial law. Every Filipino who held the coin saw this daily reminder. The obverse of the 1979 25-centimo featured the image of Juan Luna, one of the greatest Filipino painters and a national hero. He is best remembered for his masterpiece Spoliarium, which won international acclaim. Luna's inclusion on the coin symbolized not only artistic genius, but also patriotism. He was an active participant in the Philippine Revolution, showing that heroes come not only from the battlefield, but also from culture and the arts. The reverse side of the coin displayed the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines, along with Republica ng Pilipinas and the year of minting, 1979. This design tied the coin to the nation's identity. Made of copper nickel, the 25-centimo coin had a silvery appearance. Its composition gave it durability and a pleasant shine that distinguished it from the smaller aluminum coins in circulation. The coin had a diameter of 20 millimeters and was slightly heavier than the 10 and 5 centimo pieces. This size made it practical for everyday transactions. In 1979, the Philippine economy was struggling, but the 25-centimo coin still had purchasing power. You could use it to buy small snacks, pay part of jeepney fares, or purchase household necessities. Children of that time fondly remember 25-centimo coins as part of their allowance. Many recall the excitement of saving enough to buy ice, drops, candies, or comic books. The 1979 issue carried a sense of optimism as it was minted during the height of Marcos' campaign to present the Philippines as a strong and orderly nation. Coins became carriers of this vision. The phrase Angi Bagong Lipunan was not just political rhetoric but a branding strategy. By printing it on coins, Marcos tied his legacy to something that touched every Filipino's hands daily. For collectors today, the 1979-5 centimo is a highly symbolic coin. Its historical context, combined with the portrait of Luna, makes it a centerpiece in Philippine